This season on football, Leicester bounce back up. Luton, Burnley and Sheffield United all bounce back down. Jurgen Klopp finally leaves. Foden fulfills his potential. Villa make the Champions League. Manchester United complete their worst ever Premier League season. The world takes notice of Cole Palmer.
A stunning season and a stunning night. Cole Palmer.
And Manchester City crowned champions for the 4th season in a row.
Tell me stories of all that are great. Cherish these days before it's too late. If you could turn around yourself, would you hold on to your...
Hello everyone, welcome to this week's episode, the final episode of the season. It is me, Alex, and as it is the final episode of the season, I will be going through and reviewing some of our previous episodes, and I'll be giving you a nice little best bits compilation as well. This week we have got a few things coming up. I am going to be finally reviewing some of your TikTok submissions. It's been ages since we've done that, and I'm looking forward to doing a few of those. I'll try and cram as many as I can in. But first, I do want to do a review of my day one fantasy team. I thought it'd be a good way of reviewing a lot of individual performances throughout the season and kind of just having a recap in general. If anyone doesn't know what the day one team is, it is a fantasy team on the Fantasy Premier League where I pick a team and I can't touch it all season. It's kind of like a gauge on how well I've predicted each player's potential or their performances throughout the season. We do a couple of leagues and I think I finished second on one of them, beat someone else on ours. But I will be doing a full Goalposts for Jumpers podcast, day one team season league, if you want to be involved in that next season. But for my team, overall, this season, I finish on 1,997 points. That's actually not bad, considering I can't make any changes to my team. I can't make any captain changes to my team. No substitutions unless it's automatic. If a player goes and gets injured, which a few of my players did, I can't replace them. So you kind of got to be strategic with it. I finished overall position was 4,820,027. That sounds terrible, but it is out of just under 11 million. So halfway point, considering I couldn't do anything to that team that I picked, I think it's not too bad. And actually, I don't know whether this is a reflection more on my normal team. I nearly beat my normal team that I can triple captain, bench boost and do everything else with, which I can't on this one. So, yeah, not bad this season. In goal, I went with Emi Martinez to start with. He finished 7th out of all the goalkeepers in the Premier League this season. 115 points. I don't think that's too bad, considering Villa play such a risky high line, and they didn't mind conceding a lot of goals. I think Emi Martinez has got a good argument to be the current best Premier League goalkeeper, a World Cup winning goalkeeper, a monster of a man, and just, yeah, I love his personality. I think I said it last week where I think he can be the difference where you've got a team that is maybe challenging for top 4. If you've got a goalkeeper with a personality, that might give you the edge, and it's the same in terms of winning a title. I don't think necessarily that Arsenal lost the league this season, by the way, through David Raya, but I think if they'd have had an Emi Martinez, I don't know. You never know. I don't think David Raya was too bad, but Emi Martinez, I think, belongs in a side pushing for a Premier League title. And I don't know how you get him away from Villa, but if you're a top side, particularly an Arsenal, he's who you should have gone for. Get him back in. He's a monster. At right back, and actually I say right back, I had 3 defenders, so it is a right back, but Matty Cash. Matty Cash had a really strong start to the season, fell away through injuries, and I think a lot of the time there was so many games for Villa, he kind of came out of the team, back in the team. Emery's managing minutes, so it was a really difficult season to put a Villa defender in there. And then they had loads of injuries as well. And Matty Cash was one of those who suffered an injury a couple of times. But 64 points ain't the end of the world. But it's okay. And considering I had players to come off automatic substitutions, it wasn't too bad. My shocking pick was Ben Chilwell. He got 24 points. What was I thinking? Thinking Ben Chilwell could go a whole season not getting injured. I was speaking to someone this week about England in the Euros and where we stand on that left-back position. We think, when we were talking, we were saying every position is pretty solid, pretty rock solid, even as far as like the centre-back, the second centre-half in Harry Maguire. But that left-back position worries me. And Ben Chilwell, I don't know if he's up to top level international football. He's just gotten back really into the team now after injury, but he's not really gotten back into the team because Cucurella's played the majority of the last few games for Chelsea this season. 24 points was a shocker. I just thought maybe a couple of goals, couple of assists for an attacking fullback. Talking of attacking fullback, the third defender, that I went for was Pedro Porro. This was a risk. He finished 4th out of all the defenders in the league on 136 points. What Pedro Porro did this season is all the more impressive considering what he did last season and the abuse, the criticism that he was getting. Brand new into the Premier League last season, looked way out of his depth. This season, Ange has gone, right, all the pressure on you. You're going to be a right back who gets forward and back, but you're also going to receive the ball on the half turn in the midfield of a team that is going to be pressed in the highest, probably intense league in the world. And he's not just done that, he's done it really well. And I think for Pedro Porro, he's grabbed a couple of goals, which I think has bumped him up there. But just all-round play is what has impressed me the most. Receiving the ball, passing the ball, getting back, getting forward. He's kind of one of the ones that I would have said, as far as a right-back goes, I'd have been putting him in the team of the season. I would have been close. I think Ben White was there, Kyle Walker probably second. But Pedro Porro is not far off. I thought he was really good. And yeah, I thought I'd take a risk on him. A lot of people criticised him last season. I saw something in him. Not many people did, and I'm glad that I backed him because I thought he's brilliant this season. Starting off with midfield, I went with Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka got in the team of the season in terms of fantasy, 3rd overall in terms of position in midfield, and 226 points. When are people going to start waking up and realising Bukayo Saka is at that level? He is not just... like, people talk about him like he's this boring player. When season after season, he bags double figures goals, double figures for assists as well. I just don't understand it. It's another season where Bukayo Saka will most likely not get any of the recognition he deserves. And as most of you know, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Man United fan. But it doesn't mean that I can't give credit where credit is due and where it is being, I think, often missed. For Bukayo Saka, let's have a look at Saka's numbers, by the way. I've put them down. Bukayo Saka by numbers once again. At just 22 years old, Bukayo Saka this season has got his highest ever goal tally. He's got more assists than Bruno Fernandes. He's not just better than his peers. He's put away double the goals Luis Diaz has. More assists and 5 more goals than Liverpool's darling Darwin Núñez, beloved striker Darwin Núñez. He's got more goals than Man City's Julian Alvarez. He's 2 years younger than him, by the way. More than double what Marcus Rashford has managed this season. In his career, by the way, he has also already eclipsed Joe Cole's goal record in the Premier League. He's got more goals than him. More assists than Santi Cazorla ever managed. More assists than Yaya Toure managed. More than Alexis Sanchez managed. And 9 more than Phil Foden is currently on. He's also 9 more than Jamie Redknapp ever managed in the Premier League in his entire career, and 13 more than Gareth Bale ever managed. More goals also this year than Vinicius Jr., nearly double the assists, six more than Rodrigo, and again, nearly double the assists. He's got double the goals Rafa Leao has got, and also double the goals that Leroy Sané has got. I'm not meaning to rant, and I'm also not meaning to put any of these other players down. They're all phenomenal players. But it's just to give you a bit of context on how good Saka is and how little people give him credit. A lot of people say that Saka is this boring player. He is far from it. He's a phenomenon. And what he also is super young. He's 22. He has got more to come. There is loads more for Bukayo Saka to come. And what I also did with this day one team, putting Bukayo Saka in there, I've looked at all the different players in his position, and I thought, he's only going to get better. And that's how I kind of play the day one team, is what was he like last season? How much better? Has he hit his ceiling? And I put Saka in there, and I thought, I think he can go again. And he's gone again this season. And I think a lot of people have also said he wasn't having his best season at the start. But then you look at the numbers at the end of the year, and they are just phenomenal. And Bukayo Saka deserves far more credit, in my opinion. Also alongside him in midfield, I went with Bruno Fernandes. A really tough year for Bruno Fernandes. 10th overall in terms of points scored in the Fantasy Premier League. 166 in total. I thought he was a banker. He's on penalties. He's very creative. If he had the players around him, I think we'd be seeing Bruno Fernandes hitting arguably the most. He may be the most on the highest point scorer in Fantasy Premier League. As it is, he's not. But I had to put him in there. I thought he was a banker. Someone I'm disappointed in myself in putting it. I put Marcus Rashford in, and 108 points from Marcus Rashford. Just not his season. And we hope that something changes next year, because that is miles off what we know Marcus Rashford can achieve. I also put Raheem Sterling in. Now, Sterling was a weird one, because I thought he's still not very old, Sterling. There is still more to come. He is capable of getting goals. He actually had a pretty good return, 123 points this year. That's not too bad, considering a lot of time, actually, he's been out of the team. Noni Madueke's taken his place on the right-hand side. And then a lot of the time, Cole Palmer has probably been the main man, so been playing off the right and centrally. Then you've also got Mudryk, who's been coming in and then going back out. It's been quite difficult for Sterling to get back in, where he would probably normally be on that left wing. But I don't think Poch really liked him on that left-hand side and dropped him. But 123 points nonetheless, not too bad. Striker, I went with Alexander Isak. I think Alexander Isak has had his breakout season. This is the moment where everyone stands up and goes, this is potentially a world-class striker. And Alexander Isak, 172 points, fourth highest scorer in Fantasy Premier League for a striker. Alongside him, my final pick for the first 11 was Nicholas Jackson. I was blown away by Nicholas Jackson pre-season. I thought he looked like something else. Now, he finished 8th out of all the Premier League strikers in Fantasy Premier League. 142 points. That is not a bad return. And actually, when you look at the amount of goals he's scored and the assists that he's got, it's not horrendous. But he doesn't pass the eye test. He's difficult to watch. He misses just so many chances. It's unbelievable. I actually think a lot of the strikers in the Premier League, if you swap them out for Jackson and put them in that Chelsea team, because Chelsea have been so creative, particularly for their front man, I think they all get similar sort of goal tallies. You put Chris Wood in there, I think he'd probably score the same, if not more. And in fact, I think Chris Wood scored the same, if not more, for Forest this season. But I think Jackson is just a product of in the right place, the right time, for the right team, super productive, creative for him, and it's worked out for him. He's actually very good on the ball, dribbling, and on the turn. I will say that about him. As far as finishing and the rest goes, maybe he'll get there. He is still young, I don't know. But I backed him this season, 142 points, not too bad. On my bench, I had Matt Turner. So these are the players that come in if any of my players are injured automatically. Matt Turner got 41 points, kind of fell out the team for Forest after a while. On the bench also was Julian Alvarez, 6th highest Premier League striker, 158 points, which is actually quite impressive considering Erling Haaland dominates that striker position for Man City. Gabriel, team of the season, Gabriel, 3rd highest point scorer in terms of defenders. He got 149 points. And also on my bench, finishing off, was Harry Maguire at 73 points. I think Harry Maguire has done himself proud. The way that he has been criticised by everyone. And look, I've criticised him because he was terrible for a long period of time. But his attitude, his belief in himself to pull through and still be looked at as one of Man United's better players this season. Considering he started the season not knowing if he was ever going to play, I mean, I thought he should have moved. I think that would have been best for his career, but he stayed at Man United, stuck at it, thought, do you know what? I'm not going to let the stripping of the captaincy affect me. I'm not going to let the abuse from the media, the fans, affect me. And I think he has done himself, like I said, proud. He can hold his head up high, and hopefully he has a big tournament this summer if he's fit for England, because England will rely on that left-hand centre-back, and we haven't really got anyone. So, yeah. Yes, that was my team. Look, not too bad, not too great. I will be doing another one next season, so hopefully you join me in that. Right, let's do some TikTok submissions. It's been far too long. It's been way too long since we last did this. I have got probably loads to catch up on. I'm just going to go through the last probably 10, 15 maybe. They're all monkeys anyway. Don't take that out of context. That Mickey van der Ven strike is so impossibly clean on his left foot. I know we're going back a couple of weeks here, but something else. Mickey van der Ven, what a player he's been this season for Tottenham, and one of the better centre-halves in the league. But look at that strike. He's actually a good finisher. A couple of times he's there was a one-on-one that Romero scored the other day as well. Tottenham centre-halves are good finishers. Fair play to anyone following a team that's shit, home and away. You have my respect, because when you're having to go there and pretend that you scored a goal just so you can cheer for the day. Yeah, fair play. Well, that's Bukayo Saka, right? Well, that's Saka.
How's that red? Tell me, please. Are you being serious? How's that red? Doesn't make any sense.
Always the shin pads being thrown. I just want to commend an acting performance here, and it's not the guy who you think it is. It's the guy with his finger to his ear like this the whole way. Genius. Spot on. To not finish that chance after being played through like that is criminal. You should be fined. That's the best assist that never was, I think I've ever seen in my life. Why is that so accurate? That cat looks the spitting image of the Premier League's Player of the Year.
I gotta be honest with you, I never really liked Star Wars.
Oh, yes, you do. You love the Phantom Menace, don't you, Howard?
Okay, no, that's like the second
Yes,
worst
you
one.
do.
The only one that's worse is the one where you flip around and CG like a...
That one's better.
No, Yoda.
It's better when
Oh my, it's so much worse. We should never see
Ninja
Yoda.
Yoda's better than...
How has he managed to make that puppet look so shocked?
You flip
Replay that
around
shit.
CG like a...
That one's better.
No, Yoda.
It's better when
Oh my, it's so much worse. We should never see
Ninja
Yoda.
Yoda's better than...
How's he done that? Brilliant. Guys, for anyone listening who hasn't seen this, it's a clip of a man dancing, a big, bold, large man dancing at the football, and he's wearing his team's kit. Guess what number he's got on the back of his shirt? If you were thinking 69, you were right. Because there's no other number a man like this would have on the back of his shirt. This looks like something out of the fourth Harry Potter film, where they go to the Quidditch World Cup. This is mad. I know, like, we love to see that sort of stuff. But how is there never a fire? The amount of pyrotechnics, I understand why the UK bans them and English football bans them. Like, that's crazy. What's there? Slavia Prague in the Czech League. Yeah, that's mad. What an atmosphere. You'd love to play against someone in that atmosphere if that was your home team. Wow. Once again, the foreign fans do it so different. I watch a lot of Italian football, though, and you'll see like big moments of Italian football where you see the fans, but throughout the game, it's like they're almost so focused on singing, they aren't watching the game, they don't watch the football. Like, it's constant songs and it's never about anything that's happening on the pitch. Like, it's never relevant. I know I don't speak Italian, but it doesn't sound relevant, and they don't seem like as interested in what's happening until a goal goes in. It's really strange. But that from the Ajax fans, wow, incredible.
Your house is on fire, and you're going to say two things.
Okay.
Your wife, your mother-in-law, your dog, or $20 million.
Oh, so I will save 20 million. So the 20 million is my own.
Yes.
It's in the house, and it's mine.
Yes.
So what am I doing in the house now if there's 20 million there?
That's not the question.
So, assuming that I'm in the house and there's 20 million.
The question is,
Is it mine or is it my wife's or my mom? Who does it belong to?
yours.
It's my own.
You will win that. Okay. You can only, okay.
I'll take my wife and mother-in-law.
Okay. So $20 million is gone. Okay. The $20 million is in your house.
It's in my house, okay.
So $20 million, and what is your second option?
So I will select, can I select it?
$20 million and
So I will take the 20 million and then the $700 under my bed. So I'll take the 20 and my 700 because I can't leave the 700 to burn now.
what about your wife, your dog, or your mother-in-law?
My wife, with 20 million you can you can have a wife in every jurisdiction. So every area code you can have one everywhere. One in New York, one in Los Angeles, one in here.
This man is
Atlanta.
serious.
You can have one in like DeKalb County. In
Went down in my
20
estimations
million
when he
I
said
have.
he's not going to save the dog.
Practically speaking, when you think about it, what does it really make sense to abandon the 20 million and take the? But also, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe 20 million and
Reasoning
my birth certificate,
with
because
you.
it's hard. You know,
He's
it's hard to
reasoning
replace those things.
Why he's going to let his
It's
wife
very hard.
and
When you want to
mother-in-law and
replace,
dog
they tell you to
burn
come back today, come back
for the
tomorrow.
sake of
So maybe the 20 million and my
700
birth
quid
certificate,
under
my
the bed.
Because because if you burn your passports, they will say, "Are you from this country?" All those things. So I'm taking the 20 million and my passport. No, I will just pocket it. You know, everything is happening. As I'm carrying the 20 million, I'm also taking the 7 million. So I can choose three. So I choose the 20 and my 700. So do you know how many I drive Uber on
Saving
the
his
weekends
passport
for like
instead
6
of his
months straight to save that money. I can't
mum-in-law.
let it burn. So I take
I'm
the
out.
20.
Yeah, so we are all pretty close. Yeah. There you go. Look at that.
I hope that's real, because Rishi Sunak is an absolute...
If ever anybody asks me the question of who is the best striker you have ever played against, the best individual performance from any striker I've ever played against is Nicholas Jackson. He has got probably the most rounded, full package striker I have ever seen in my life. He had absolutely everything, and he bullied us this day.
Nicholas Jackson is one of a kind. What he's doing, I don't know if we will see another player do the things that he does.
Completely agree. Nicholas Jackson, sublime. The Chuckle Brothers. That's Paul Chuckle. That's Barry Chuckle. That's Barry Chuckle. That's the Spanish Barry Chuckle. Comments. The Chuckle Brothers. Comments. I missed Chuckle Vision. That's Barry Chuckle.
If you're cheating yourself and you're playing PlayStation or you're doing bull with girls and stuff, in 5 years when your teammates that are grafting are playing in a youth cup or making their debuts at 17, you're going to be the one that's regretting it. Keep doing your extras. I call it 1%. Something needs to separate you from your teammates. You get me? If there's another striker in your team, he needs to be better than you. If he's in the gym, you got to be in the gym. If he's doing shooting after training, you got to do shooting after training. You can't cheat the game. You can't get a contract by sitting down and doing the minimum, doing your session and going home. You need to do extras. You need to watch every game. Don't cheat yourself. Don't go to bed thinking, I could have done more. And in 5 years, you're going to regret it.
That is some speech there from Chuba Akpom. And you can see that this is someone who's dedicated obviously his life to it, but had the world at his feet at Arsenal coming through. And then obviously he's had to drop right the way down. I think he was at Charlton and then Middlesbrough until it kind of really took fire. He's now at Ajax. But kids need to hear this. Like, this is important, that you cannot, if you want to be at that top, and it's probably the same for anything. It's literally the same for anything. You can't take your foot off the gas. If you want something hard enough, you're going to have to put in ridiculous amounts of work, especially when your competition is the entire world. Everyone wants to be a footballer. Comments on here. Chuba Akpom giving advice. A fella got released by Arsenal. Crying faces. Big dunk. A guy on the internet. Meanwhile, Chuba Akpom plays for Ajax. And you're laughing at him. Chuba Akpom's brilliant.
Can I give you a real shocker? Spoiler, in fact. For who's going down next season? Brighton and Hove Albion.
Brighton's a great shout, mate.
I think Brighton.
Honestly,
Don't nick that now.
Get Brentford out.
Two model Premier League clubs.
And
that
Forest,
have done
well, they
everything the
stink in
right
this
way.
league.
I like Forest, man. I like Forest.
Brighton have, out of all, they've been up 5-6 years. 3 of the 4 of them, they've had wobbles, real wobbles, where they were close to getting relegated with Chris Hughton, with Graham Potter. They did.
I think it's unsustainable. You know this thing that they do where they like constantly lose a player and constantly find a better player.
Yeah.
Lose
Hard to do that.
lose Basuma, bring in Caicedo. Lose Cucurella, bring in Estepinian.
Lose Potter, bringing his hard.
It's unsustainable, man. And what people need to remember.
What I will say is, don't most teams do that? Lose a player, replace them. Lose a player, replace them. Isn't that just football? Unless you're Real Madrid, you get a player, he's good, you may lose him, it gets to the end of his career and you replace him. Isn't that what most teams do?
And I get comments about this, but it's blind ranking. Whatever comes up, comes up. Arsenal Spurs we're starting off with. North London Derby, obviously. It's definitely one of the biggest.
I won't put you through this Cal the Dragon video, but what a lovely way to end the TikTok submissions, I think, on a Cal the Dragon video of him looking like he's got the hair of a 13-year-old girl and the face of a dog. Right, guys, that was TikTok submissions. That was good fun. We'll do a lot more next season, I'm sure of it, but it's been really hard to try and get all the football content out and the TikTok submissions content out all in 1 week, every week is really difficult. And you kind of get snowed under when you ask a couple of people to send you stuff because everyone's on TikTok and everyone's just pinging you videos left, right and centre. let's wind the show down, and actually let's wind the season down with all of this season's best bits. I just want to say to everyone, thank you so much for listening. I know a lot of you have kind of probably forgot the podcast even existed. We kind of did, and we thought, you know what, we'll give it a really good go this season. Put a couple of episodes out every week, maybe one or two. We've tried our hardest to give you as much content as possible. We've not reached loads of people on YouTube. It has been difficult. We've been copyrighted every single week, and the algorithm just is not pushing us. But plenty of you have seen our clips on social media. Millions, in fact, have seen it this season. So we're really proud of that. We're really happy, and we really want to say thank you to everyone who always likes everything, shares everything. It means a lot because it is so difficult in this world to make a name for yourself and kind of get to a point where people are listening to you. We knew when we started again that it was going to be like starting from scratch. But what we've done this season, we're really proud of. You know, we started off in my bedroom again, sat there talking to a camera with a salt lamp behind, to sat right here in my house with Michael Chopra talking about scoring goals for Newcastle. Just madness. And we hope that that continues as well. Big shout out to all of our guests this season. Thanks to Vince. Thanks to Baker. Thank you to Kilimanjaro. What a legend. He's in Bristol. Love saves the day. If you haven't got your tickets, he's there next Sunday. Make sure you go and see him if you are local. Big thank you to Michael Chopra for coming all the way down from Newcastle to record an episode with us. And thanks to Will Evans. And congratulations to Will Evans for being nominated League 2 Player of the Year as well. What a season it has been for him, and what a legend for turning up, taking his time out to come and speak to us as well. Guys, I'll leave you with all the best bits, and I will be back. This isn't the last of me this year. You're going to see plenty more, obviously, next season, so from August. But in that meantime, we have got the Euros, so I'm going to be doing a couple of episodes. Make sure if you haven't, hit that notification button so you don't miss out, because it's not going to be all the time. It's not going to be like clockwork every Wednesday. You're going to need that notification button on to make sure that you have been notified that we've posted an episode. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you haven't liked the video, like it. We do appreciate it. Guys, thank you. I'll leave you with all the best bits. And the world pays tribute to the late, great Sir Bobby Charlton. Old women wearing football boots in public.
Have anyone seen how Alexander Isaac talks?
When did he go down?
He puts Ben Mee up top and Ben Chilwell in goal. I'm actually going to have human beings playing and not E.T. playing the false nine. Luke Chadwick, I'd have a beer with you, mate. How the Dragon looks like the first time in the future when a dog is able to talk. And has admitted to being unable to pronounce it and refuses to talk to anyone with that name.
Just a quick word from our sponsors. This episode of Goalposts Jumps is sponsored by Bebo.
We need to come up with something. Spread a rumour that he has like a squirrel fetish. I am done with football games. FIFA has just killed it for me. The only good thing was pro clubs, but it's also scripted, and I'm not willing to invest my time into football games anymore. Maybe this one. All right, fine. I get it. Oh, great! For God's sake. Newcastle United once signed a player called Brian Penis. Newcastle discovered Penis playing for Dutch side Feyenoord.
Like, the abuse I have got over the last week is intense, but I fucking love it.
Newcastle United once signed a player called Brian Penis.
I feel like too many podcasts out there say welcome to, just, is there anyone actually out there that just starts things off with just a simple fuck off?
Newcastle discovered Penis playing for Dutch side Feyenoord. The Geordie side, however, never played with Penis, and after a short spell moved their penis back to the Netherlands.
No!
I never believe you're good enough.
The player in Taxi Fontes on the bench. Taxi's
a player called Taxi. There's a player called Taxi. I didn't know that. Taxi!
And that's why people in Liverpool slap themselves with Scouse.
I'm not English.
I cannot stand Scouse not English. I cannot stand it.
Whoever told you that they enjoy McDonald's delivered is lying to you. It tastes of shoes.
The new Chomp merch arrived.
From the time that it leaves the fucking McDonald's to come into your house, that McDonald's somehow finds a way to morph into a shoe.
Nemanja Vidic, Garnacho's brother, comments on our video. Left back, Pascal, ooh, gross.
Banana has put out a statement on social media saying,
Someone else said, is this a Spectrum shuffle? You can't really say that.
This week on football, I am finished. Every single one of them stinks.
and who do you sit next to in the dressing room?
An omelette.
He's always the first to arrive at.
Kel the Dragon's body doesn't make sense. The top half and the bottom half don't move at the same time. Kel the Dragon is being controlled by a tiny, small alien like the one out of Men in Black, sat in the top of his head, and he's trying to work the levers all at once, and he's not very good at it. The Danish goalkeeper, Kasper Schmeichel, once had a go at me for moving his goalpost. He's like, did you say something? If you want to successfully chomp someone, you can say, for example, why does the other goat look embarrassed? And that's where you go, chomp. What is this? Why have they got a box of slime? There was not just one group of midgets. There was two separate groups of midgets that had nothing to do with each other. Unacceptable. We are doing this week's episode in front of a live studio audience. Got our own audience. Yeah, got down in the back. I don't understand the language he's talking, but what I'm assuming that translates to is, this is my giant flat baby. Dude! What comes out? Noodles! What is it?
Whopper!
What are you? You're not real. That dude is going through it. Someone's got his face this way, someone's got his face this way, and he's kind of getting stretched like he's in Scooby-Doo.
This week,
Megan Rapinoe. I think we should do it just with the flag halfway down for the rest of it.
It looks like we're on a Teams call.
In school, did you ever make those? I'm not laughing at that, I'm laughing at completely something different. It's me, your host, Alex. I am joined by Gareth.
What's that, man?
And the man who a couple of weeks ago was nipping in front of Rafa Varane to score against Man United and equalise. It's Will Evans, everybody. When you swear
just
straight
bleep me
away.
out as per usual.
Okay, I'll bleep you out. That's so good.
Usain Bolt liked our video. Manchester United have commented on our video.
Who's a player that you played against in that game that you're not going to be surprised by because they're Man United players, but who really went,
Dalot.
oh wow, really? Some sort of donkey that he can't perform in the Premier League, that he was a waste of money. Rasmus Højlund is proving what a good investment he was, and what potential he could have. Tottenham forward Richarlison, yes, he used to sell ice cream on the streets of Brazil. He's done it with the last one! With the last guess, 100. Who is giving these monkeys haircuts? Is there something moving behind me? Oh, look at the beans. Look at the beans. You tell me if something's moving behind me.
AC Milan looks really tasty.
I would eat AC Milan.
I'd eat AC Milan. Would you eat AC Milan, guys? Let us know in the comments.
City are just undeniable. They don't go away. They're at you, and if your mentality's not right, then obviously they'll go and win the league.
This is such a dumb podcast.
I actually don't know. I can't remember. I know his first name's Toast. Mate, when you see a first name of Toaster, that's it. You don't look any further. Which he actually did. He actually did. Get that man out of my club.
Christian Eriksen.
Get that man out of my club.
And Michael Chopper joins Goalposts TV. Who's he?
Apparently, some 90-year-old woman mentioned Messi whilst being attacked by Hamas, and they let her go. 125 quid for a shirt. A special guest. It is a man who is used to getting crowds off their feet.
It's lovely to be in sunny Bristol.
Sunny Bristol.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
What's it done?
I don't know. There are people there who aren't allowed to look.
Just know it is. Cal the Dragon looks like he's about to sneeze at all times. Cal the Dragon looks a fifth of the way through a sneeze. Where are they facing? And then we capitulate, and it happens time after time under this manager.
What about for Scotland then? Ten Hag take care of those games as well?
Put my jacket on. Massive spider. Already wearing my jacket. This might be my favourite thing on the planet.